Arrived in Kenya. As you can see, those pictures there coming in from State House, Nairobi. He's here in Kenya for a 2-day visit. And of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta is the host. And as you can see, that occasion, of course, that welcome session already underway at State House. Now, we understand that the Ethiopian Prime Minister will hold talks with Uhuru Kenyatta on regional integration, I beg your pardon, peace and security. And remember that he is a newly installed Prime Minister. He was installed, of course, after his swearing in, which happened on the 2nd of April this year. And this will actually be his third foreign visit after Djibouti and Sudan. And of course, key in the discussions, we understand apart from integration, regional integration, peace and security, there will also be talks to do with regional stability and the two nations' border security. That's also something, those 2 pointers also will be part of the discussions between the two presidents here in Nairobi. Also, we understand that the two leaders will, of course, be discussing ways of enhancing relations between the two nations. So there you go, the pictures of his screen there. The Prime Minister there receiving a guard of honor there at State House, Nairobi. All right, so a cross-section there of cabinet secretaries. I can see Fred Matiang'i among other leaders there. Actually, almost all CSs there, there to receive the Prime Minister for Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, who's here in the country, like I mentioned, for 2 days, discussing matters to do with the regional stability, border security between the two nations, among other key issues. Remember that, like I mentioned earlier, Ahmed has been in office since the 2nd of April when he was newly sworn in. All right, so we'll be keeping you updated on that story there, the developments there, and we will be, of course, be able to understand what's going to be happening. The talks, like I mentioned, also there. Remember that President Uhuru Kenyatta is on record, really. He has been on record praising the newly elected leader, of course, for a good transition, which he said, President Uhuru Kenyatta said that was a very good lesson, from Ethiopia for managing diversity, but also for the African continent. Remember, like I mentioned, Ahmed was appointed by Ethiopia's ruling coalition. That was back in March and sworn in as a premier in April. So there you go, the two leaders will be getting the latest details to do with his visit and the talks that will be held here on KTN News as we continue with our coverage.